12 of the world's top kickboxers in 5 weight divisions fight for a bite of the Big Apple as we welcome you to Glory 43 Super Fight Series. Battles inside the Glory ring will take place with women's catchweight action, lethal lightweights, and furious featherweights. In the headline bout, a light heavyweight grudge match 5 years in the making as berserker Brazilian Saulo Cavallari charges into battle against Ukrainian knockout monster, the wild man Pavel Zuralev. Cavallari is eager to avenge a loss back in 2012, but there's more at stake with the interim division title on the line and a shot at champion Artem Vahitov and a unification title fight. Zuralev is a soldier, a classically trained pianist, and a doting father. Cavallari is a monster. The unstoppable force meets the immovable object, and only one of them can take the belt. And it's a battle of hometown heroes as New York's own Ariel Sepulveda and Joe Taylor mix it up with some middleweight mayhem. It's Glory 43 Super Fight Series. We are live at Madison Square Garden. It's the world's most famous arena, and it is sold out tonight as we get ready for the Glory Super Fight Series airing live around the world on UFC Fight Pass. I want to thank you for joining us in one of over 180 countries worldwide where this show is airing. He's Joseph Valtellini, the former welterweight champion of the world. My name is Todd Grisham, and just when you walk in the building here at MSG, it feels a little extra special.
Yeah, when you're in here, you can feel the environment, you can feel the history, and talking to all these fighters before, it's going to motivate them to put on an extra good performance tonight.
Yes, this is a city that never sleeps, and don't go sleeping on this card. We've got 6 fights in all to get to as we take a look at it, and several fighters making their Glory debut, including Ariel Sepulveda and Joe Taylor.
Yeah, both of these guys have a big task in front of themselves. Sepulveda made his Glory debut at Glory 23 on the losing side to Dustin Jacoby, but he's motivated to get this fight and get on the winning ways. But Joe Taylor has different plans. He's a son of a legend, and he's got a lot of power in those hands.
And one of the biggest signings in Glory history makes her debut tonight. Perhaps the greatest kickboxer of all time, Anessa Mexen, steps in the ring against the Brazilian JD Menezes.
Yeah, and what makes Mexen very dangerous is the way she moves. She's got good footwork, and she's very difficult to hit, where Menezes is going to really look to come forward and try to land those power punches on her.
Of course, we have to talk a little bit about our main event, right? It is for, after all, the interim light heavyweight championship of the world. The current light heavyweight champion, Artem Vahitov, is out with injury, broke his hand. So these two men step into the ring, Pavel Zuralev versus Saulo Cavallari.
And this fight is all about power. Both of these guys are all about power shots. So you're going to see Zuralev really go in there and utilize his power punching and his boxing, where Cavallari is going to use his boxing, but watch for a lot of low kicks and different level kicks and high kicks, and just too exciting to watch.
If you've never seen Pavel Zuralev, he's an absolute beast. He bench presses 385 pounds, and he's beaten all the big names in the sport.
Yeah, not only has he beat them in the light heavyweight division, this man was a heavyweight beating the top in the division. He has fights against Go Kensaki, Benjamin Adekbuy, and he also owns a win over his opponent tonight, Cavallari, in 2012.
And we saw him last in France facing off against Zinedine Hammerlane, who is French, and boy, what a beatdown.
Yeah, he came in and he just shows what he does best. He's going to try to corner you, and he's going to try to lay his hands all over you and go for that knockout finish.
He's promised to get one tonight, but so too has Saulo Cavallari, who knows only one way, that's straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward, power punches, low kicks, and he's going to have to use his movement a little bit today because he's got to watch out for that power of Zuralev.
Here's some highlights of Saulo Cavallari, and we've got to start with that Zach Mukasa fight.
Yeah, that left kick knockout is just vicious. He's constantly throwing low kicks, and he mixes high kicks, and it just shows that he's not intimidated by big power punches. And unfortunately, he was on the losing end against Vahitov 2 different occasions, but he's motivated and he needs a win tonight to get another crack at Vahitov.
But now back to that recent signing. Yes, she is Anessa Mexen, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps the greatest of all time, and she's standing backstage now with Whitney Miller.
I'm backstage with Anessa as she prepares for her Glory debut tonight. Now, this girl has over 104 professional wins. This is one of the biggest signings for Glory, and I cannot wait for this match. Describe for us your emotions as you take on Jade Menezes tonight.
It's amazing to fight here. It's mythic. It's a dream come true for me. So I'm very happy to fight here.
Let's say you get the win. What do you want next?
I will take the belt. For sure.
Well, I can't wait for that. Thank you so much. Good luck tonight. Let's get everything started right now.
the world's most exciting combat sport, under the lights of Broadway, as Glory Sports International, the world's premier kickboxing organization, brings the Super Fight Series back to the Big Apple. Tonight, featuring talent from 8 countries on 4 continents. All of our bouts tonight sanctioned by the World Kickboxing Association. Their U.S. President Brian Crenshaw is with us ringside. Madison Square Garden, New York City. Are you ready for glory? We begin in Glory's featherweight division. His career achievements include the crown from an 8-man tournament in China 2 years ago. Here comes Chen Li.
Another fighter making his Glory debut tonight, Chen Li out of China, 27-5-0. He's 27 years old. We've had several Chinese fighters sign and fight for Glory. 27 though, what's his upside, Joe?
Well, he's been seen by the talent of operations of Glory, and they see a lot of potential in him. He's very explosive, and watch for these kicks from different angles. And he's a good one to watch and keep an eye on for.
This WKA North American champion makes his Glory debut tonight in New York City. Please welcome Terrence Hill.
What a moment for Terrence Hill, Joe. A couple weeks ago, he thought, I'll never fight again. I'm just going to be training in my gym, helping young fighters out, and he got a call seemingly out of the blue.
Yeah, it was 6 days ago, and he was actually looking to buy a ticket to come watch the event. And when he had the opportunity, even after a 5-year layoff, he's ready, and he took this chance. This is a huge opportunity for him. And a win tonight may motivate him to stay back and stay active in the ring.
Here is our tale of the tape for our opening bout here on the Glory Super Fight Series. It's in the featherweight division, 143 pounds, 65 kilos. Terrence Hill, 30 years old, hasn't fought in 5 years, but boy, he looks fit, does he not?
Yeah, he is very fit, and he's very aggressive, and he's very technical as well, but it's actually Lee that has more of the professional experience. As you can see, he has 32 professional fights, both guys with very good win percentages, but that 52% knockout ratio for Lee makes him very dangerous.
Here are the Glory rules. 3 rounds, ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes each. You gotta hit the ground running. Punches, kicks, and knees are the legal strikes. No elbows, throws, or sweeps. 3 knockdowns in a round, 4 in the fight, and it is a TKO.
Let's take a look at the scoring system. Tonight in New York, 3 judges will be scoring the bout using the 10-point must system. Scoring is based on knockdowns, damage, clean scoring strikes with an emphasis on spectacular techniques. Finally, if there's no clear advantage, judges are looking at aggressiveness.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in Glory's featherweight division. Introducing first, standing on our right and fighting out of the black corner. He is a stand-up fighter from the Hunan province. His professional record, 27 wins, 5 losses, 14 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He'll make his Glory debut tonight. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, 1.78 meters. He weighed in at fight time at 143 pounds, 65 kilograms. Fighting tonight out of Zhuhai, China. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Chen, the animal trainer, Lee. Here now is his opponent, standing on the left and fighting out of the white corner, an ISKA and WKA world champion. His professional record, 10 wins, 1 loss, 1 bout scored even with 2 career knockouts. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, 1.70 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at 142 pounds, 64.5 kilos. He fights tonight out of Hollis, Queens, New York. Introducing Terrence, take him down Hill. And your referee for this contest is Chris Wagner.
Gentlemen, on that screen fight, we're looking at you all times. In case of a knockdown, go to the neutral corner I tell you to go to. Remain that side, call you out. Any questions over here? Any questions over here? Fight fair, fight hard. Back it up. Judge. 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 Fight!
All right, two fighters making their Glory debut. Chin Lee fighting out of China wearing the black gloves. Terrence, take him downhill, is in the white gloves. And an interesting story, Joe. Terrence Hill, obviously a big fan of Glory, said he was going to buy a ticket for the show. Next thing you know, he got the call to fight. He said, well, I get free admission, right? I'll take it.
Well, he's got a good professional record. He has 10 wins, 1 loss, and I guess he never continued with his career. But when you get a call like this from Glory in your hometown, you need to take it.
And now Hill pressing the attack. It's his first professional fight since March 2nd, 2012. Looks like he still remembers how to do it.
Well, he says he trains and he's been coaching a lot. And coaching actually helps fighters with knowledge. It learns them to improve their technique. So let's see if the coaching is going to play out in the ring.
Nice leg kick there by Chin Lee.
Chen's got very explosive kicks, and I think that's where his biggest advantage is going to be.
Fight!
Some big news announced earlier this week. In fact, it was yesterday at the weigh-ins. Glory is headed to China in October, our first ever event there. And you know Chin Lee would love to be a part of that card. October 14th in Jingzhou, China. The third biggest city in the country, I'm told, has about 30 million people that live there.
The kickboxing scene is huge over there.
Nice left hand sneaks through for Terrence Hill.
Yeah, it looks like
he lost his footing there for a second as he hurt. Hill backpedaling now, but throwing punches as he does. And now Hill face first, and he is out cold. It is over. Chin Lee with the dynamic knockout at Madison Square Garden.
Terrence Hill was just sitting in the pocket, and Lee just came out with an explosive straight punch, put Hill right out.
Chin Lee, known as the Animal Tamer, and he is going crazy right now. What a debut for him.
That couldn't have been a better debut for him. He's hyped up.
Overhand right, and Hill down and out.
There was a little bit of exchange before, and it looked like Terrence Hill was getting the best of it, but Lee just came over with that right hand and just put Terrence right out.
Well, Terrence Hill promised to be aggressive, and maybe it came to his peril because he didn't take a back step until he got caught.
Well, he had to take this opportunity. I think it was a good strategy to come out and try to put some pressure on Lee, but Lee just looked incredible with that overhand right.
Does he look incredible now, Joe? What do you rate the dance moves?
I don't know. It's not really our North American style of dancing, but
he looks like Balky. Remember Balky?
Maybe in China, those are some of the moves.
Either way, he's earned the right to dance terribly in the ring, and he missed his second straight backflip. Nothing's working except for his right hand, Joe, but boy, is it on time.
Yeah, he just went over that left hand of Terrence Hill and just perfectly timed right on the chin. Couldn't get a better debut than that.
Chin Lee now 28-5-0. Let's make it official when we come back.
Yeah, it was
Glory Kickboxing is the most action-packed fight sport on the planet. Legal strikes are punches, kicks, and knees. Regular bouts are 3 rounds. Championship bouts are 5, and each round is 3 minutes of action. Outfight your opponent for 10-9. Knock them down for 10-8. In a normal bout or tournament final, 3 knockdowns in 1 round or 4 in the entire bout, and the fight is over by TKO. In a tournament semi, 2 knockdowns in 1 round or 3 in the entire bout, and it's all over. Or you can just knock your opponent out. Sweeps, elbows, and grappling are not allowed. Clinching is okay if you follow up with a knee. Glory rules are designed to bring non-stop, fast-paced stand-up action. To find out more, go to glorykickboxing.com.
We welcome you back to the theater at Madison Square Garden, and our first fight of the night sure didn't last long, Joe.
No, and it was from that beautifully overhand right from Lee. And let's take a look at this. I'm sure we'll see it a few more times, but Terrence Hill looked like he was doing well in the exchange, but just over that left jab of Hill, Lee perfectly timed it. Bang.
Terrence Hill again taking this fight on a short notice. Just a couple days, in fact, his first fight in 5 years. It was a decision he said he had to make. Unfortunately, it did not work out well at all. Into the ring now, and Jim Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you watched it as it happened. This fight comes to an end with an official time of 1 minute 45 seconds of that very first round by knockout. For your winner, Chin Chin Lee.
Well, Joe, you don't have a lot to work with, but from what we saw, what's the upside for Chin Chin Lee in this division?
Well, he's got a lot of power, and we saw that today. But he showcases a lot of kicks, so a lot of fighters watching Chen Chen were very concerned with his kicks, but it just showed that he's got good power in his hands as well.
His dancing, really bad. His kickboxing, really good. Chin Chin Lee wins in his Glory debut. Coming up later, one of the most accomplished female kickboxers in the history of the sport, Anissa Mexen, makes her Glory debut against Brazilian power puncher, the upset-minded Jadi Menezes. But coming up next, the first Israeli fighter in Glory history makes his long-awaited debut, Itai Gershon. There he is right there, hitting some pads, getting ready. He squares off against another man looking to make a splash in his first ever Glory debut. Fighting out of Poland, it's Rafael Dudek. That lightweight bout coming up next when Glory's Super Fight Series returns. Chicago, a storm sweeps into town for Glory 44 Super Fight Series with middleweight monster Mike Lemaire, heavyweight Romanian tank Catlin Morisanu, all-American hero Tiffany Time Bomb Van Soos defends her world title, plus Warren the Destroyer Thompson. Glory 44 Super Fight Series, Friday, August 25th at Sears Center Arena, Chicago. Don't miss it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we next move to the lightweight ranks of Glory, and again about scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. This man is a European champion, a bronze medalist in 2012. Please welcome Rafael Dudek.
Rafael Dudek has some experience against some top-level fighters. In fact, Myrtle Grunhart, who will be challenging for the welterweight championship of the world next month, fought him about 10 years ago. And Grunhart's trainer, Mike Passanier, one of the best in the business today, liked what he saw, brought him to the Netherlands, and he's worked to cultivate him into the fighter he is today.
And Dudek didn't even have a camp at that point, so Mike took him under, and he's done some good things with Mike Jim. He's got an impressive 31 fights. He's really talented, so let's see what he can do. Unfortunately, Big Mike not able to be in his corner tonight. So
he becomes the first Israeli fighter to compete under the Glory banner. Please welcome Itai Gershon.
This man holds the distinction of being the first ever Israeli fighter to sign with Glory Kickboxing, and his message to us in the fighter meeting was, it's about time.
Yeah, he wants to put on fights, and he wants to put on exciting ones. He made his name in the sport with some spectacular knockouts. He's explosive, and he's going to take advantage of openings when he sees them. He's look for big things coming from Gershon.
Itai Gershon. Here's our tale of the tape. It's Israel versus Poland tonight. Itai Gershon fighting Dudek in the lightweight division, 154 pounds. As you can see, Gershon, 24 years old. Dudek's been doing this for a long time, Joe. He's 33 years old and holds a 1-inch reach advantage.
And it's Dudek that also has the advantage when it comes to professional fights with 31 versus the 17 of Gershon. You got to also know that Dudek also has 140 amateur fights, so that experience is going to be one of his best weapons in this fight.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the lightweight division of Glory. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, a Polish national champion who brings a record of 20 wins and 11 losses, 9 of those wins coming by knockout. He makes his Glory debut tonight. He stands 5 feet 11 and 1/2 inches, 1.82 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at 153 and 1/2 pounds, 69.6 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Nowy Sącz, Poland, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Rafał Dudek. Here now is his opponent, fighting out of the white corner. Canada's one of the Middle East great strikers. His professional record, 13 wins with 4 losses, 5 of those wins coming by way of knockout. At 5 feet 9 and 1/2 inches, 1.76 meters, he weighed in at 153 and 1/2 pounds, 69.6 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Israel, ladies and gentlemen, here is Itai Gershon. The third man inside the Glory ropes. Your referee is Paul Nichols.
Gentlemen, you understand the rules that you're fighting to. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Do you have any questions? Touch gloves if you like. Push back. Judge.
Rafał Dudek out of Poland, lives now in the Netherlands, trains out of Mike's gym. 34 years old, said he started fighting at 17. So half his life he's been doing this, and boy, got dark in a hurry. And that may have, who knows, cost Gershon a moment there. He backed up against the ropes, took a few punches. Gershon wearing the white gloves, Dudek in the black, Joe.
Right away, you're going to see this fight's going to be about the boxing of Dudek versus the kicks of Gershon. Looks like Dudek's going to put the pressure on, and that pressure is going to help him avoid those kicks.
Gershon told us his goal in Glory is to be the first ever champion in this organization from the Middle East. I think he's good enough to do that, Joe.
Right! He looks good, he's impressive, and what I like about it is those kicks. They can come at any angle, any level, any time.
Gershon's trainer told us the biggest hindrance for him becoming as good as he can be is that it's hard for him to get fights where he lives in Israel. The quality is just not there. You already see some swelling around the right eye of Gershon.
It's Dudek putting pressure on with his boxing, staying active with his straight punches, and he just, they both clipped each other. Dudek's doing a good job at avoiding those low kicks.
Dudek's favorite athlete growing up in Poland was Andrew Galata, who famously hit Riddick Bowe with several low blows at Madison Square Garden. Dudek said, it's a dream to fight here. As soon as I heard Madison Square Garden, I thought Andrew Galata fought in this building.
Dudek's doing a good job at landing those straight punches. He's doubling up his jab, straights right down the middle. There's those power kicks of Gershon.
You can hear that one. Redness already showing up on the right side of the body of Dudek. Shoulder, back, arm.
Nice block by Dudek.
But you're right, the boxing skills of Dudek clearly seem to be more advanced than Gershon. Gershon starting low, ending high. There's another quick jab from Dudek, and that high kick connected.
And he's mixing level with his punches and kicks now, and that's what's making him successful.
A very busy opening round for both these fighters.
Dudek trying to showcase some of his kicks as well.
Some spinning attack there from Gershon. Entertaining round one. And a nice 1-2 to polish it off for the Israeli. Here's more information on Itai Gershon. As I mentioned, the first Israeli fighter to sign with Glory, and he's very well trained in both Muay Thai and boxing.
And you can see some of his favorite moves. He's already trying to use them today. He's going with that left hook to the body. He's mixed in a spinning back kick. He's been spinning kicks. And that's what makes him very exciting, that he's really looking to land those spectacular techniques.
As for Rafal Dudek out of Poland, a former amateur and professional champion, over 100 fights as an amateur.
And that's where he feels his biggest advantage is in here. When we asked him in the pre-fight interview, he's like, I got over 100 amateur fights with my professional record. So he says that's his biggest advantage.
And yes, you read correctly, he has appeared in some Polish movies, mainly as a fighter. In fact, one time he said he was an actor playing an inmate that escaped jail and got into fights. Here he is getting into a fight in Madison Square Garden, a dream come true for both these athletes, quite frankly. Nice stuff from Gershon. Boy, he can really hammer you.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good power in his kicks, but I like when he was doing in the first round, mixing his kicks with his punches. Throwing single kicks all the time won't score all the time. Add some punches before, add some punches after. There's his left knee mixed with his punches.
And Gershon has picked up some highlight reel knockouts with some of his spectacular offense. And if he could get another one here tonight in his Glory debut in this building, fans would remember it for some time to come. Like getting hit by a 2x4. Break! Joe, can that thudding sound, can that be deceptive?
Well, there's slaps, right? And you got to think, too, they're to the arm. Even though they're doing damage, we got to see if the judges are scoring those arm kicks. I say it every time, those arms, the kicks hit off the arm. You got to be careful on how the judges are scoring that. So I'd like to see Gershon change levels, go back to those low kicks, mixing that left high kick he threw in the first round.
Oh. He's starting to tenderize the right side of Dudek's body right now. You can see the bruising on the rib cage. And when you see that sort of damage appearing on your opponent, you're thinking, why change anything? I'm destroying his left side of the right side of his body. Break! And Dudek all of a sudden moving much more slowly, not quite as active.
Yeah, his punches aren't as effective anymore. The snap in his punches out. So it's not really slowing Gershon down, and this is a better round for Gershon.
Body shot there from Gershon. It goes right back down to the body. And now Gershon's starting to open up with some punches.
And he's mixing levels. He's hitting the body, trying to mix head, body, head.
Gershon 2 inches shorter than Dudek, but it appears to be a little bit more than that. He still manages to get that high kick up near the face.
And it's Dudek that's closing the distance. Or he should be staying out, using his jab from a longer range. He's allowing Gershon to get inside and use his body punches and low kicks.
Round 1 was very close. Round 2 was not a great round for Itai Gershon.
Yeah, that first round could definitely go either way. And that second round definitely favors Gershon. There's a nice straight left from Gershon. and he's showcasing good mix of punches and kicks. There he slips off the right hand of Dudek, clinches up to avoid more boxing.
Great shot by our camera crew there in the truck. Look at the right side of the body of Rafael Dudek, Joe.
Yeah, those are really slowing Dudek down with his combinations and his boxing, and that's a perfect strategy to shut down a boxer. Keep throwing those kicks. It's going to help prevent the boxer from trying to throw his punches.
I would think that at least the right arm, why would Dudek even pull it up off his ribcage? You just want to keep it there to protect yourself. Have you ever had damage quite like that on your body during a fight?
No, not really. But what happens is, even though those are blocked, a lot of those are the toes smacking behind the guard. But that's a lot of damage happening.
Yo!
This is the third and final round. Itai Gershon, the first Israeli fighter ever to fight for glory wearing white gloves. Rafael Dudek out of Poland in the black. So what's the message now to Dudek? How does he get back in this fight?
Well, I feel he needs to keep his distance a little bit more, stay a little longer, keep his jab on the outside. He wants to avoid the close range fighting because that's where Gershon's most dangerous.
And a spinning back kick from Gershon, who seems to have all the exciting moves in his arsenal. Yeah, he's starting to fight with a little confidence. You can tell more of a swagger now for Itai. In round one, Joe, Dudek's boxing was seemingly on a completely different level, but as the fight's gone on, Gershon seems to even be getting better with the hands.
Yeah, because he's closing that distance. He's putting the pressure, he's staying close, which makes it harder for the taller fighter to land his straight punches.
The last time you saw Glory, we were in Paris, France. Oh, there's a high kick, and that may have done some damage to Dudek, who's still not quite right on his feet. I was going to say we had open scoring in between rounds. You could see the scores from the judges. That is not the case here in New York tonight. The fighters do not know where they stand, nor do we, nor do you. Just no zip in the punches at all for Dudek now.
Break! Keep your heads up, both of you. Fight!
Nice body shot, low kick.
And again, goes back to the well.
Gershon keeps switching stances. There's those spin kicks. Man, he keeps throwing one way, switches stances. He's constantly kicking from different stances, which makes it very difficult for Dudek to figure out where they're coming from.
Cor Himmers, who is our matchmaker here in Glory, sitting ringside right now, and you know he's looking at Gershon saying, I want to get this guy back in there as soon as I can. He's exciting to watch, and he's really good.
Definitely.
A great debut so far for Gershon. Going back to the body and then works upstairs again. And Dudek taking a lot of damage here in round three. And another right hand.
I just love how he's changing levels with his kicks, with his boxing. When you change levels, it opens up different areas. That's how you set up knockouts. When you headhunt, your opponent's going to keep his hands tight on his head. Got to change levels.
20 seconds to go here. The Glory debut for both fighters, and it's certainly gone much better for Gershon, particularly in rounds 2 and 3. Just as I say that, Dudek lands a couple of power punches. And that's it. An entertaining scrap here at the theater at Madison Square Garden. Dudek and Gershon. And as we look at the total strikes, Gershon 130 landed, Dudek 65. Exactly twice as many more strikes landed for the Israeli.
And those 65 strikes mostly happened in the first round, and those second and third round, it was all Gershon really putting the pressure on the inside, landing good boxing, mixing levels. Beautiful debut for Gershon.
The official decision when we come back. are back here at Madison Square Garden. Todd Grisham and Joseph Valtellini ringside for this entertaining scrap between Dudek and Gershon.
And it started off a very close fight where Dudek was able to use his straight punches, but as the fight progressed, it was Gershon really doing a good job at getting in on the inside, changing levels with his punches, and this was the end of a good exchange. But in my opinion, it goes at least 2 rounds to 1 for Gershon.
Joseph Valtellini going out on a limb, saying Gershon wins it 2 rounds to 1. Maybe it's not that big a limb, but here are the final strike count punches. Gershon landing 71 compared to 49, and of course the kicks off the charts.
And you can see it's the strikes absorbed. It was really Gershon looking to attack the body and the legs, where Dudek was really focusing mostly on his head punches.
The official decision now. Here's Tim Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of kickboxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. Here's how our 3 ringside judges score this bout. All see it the same, 30-27. A unanimous decision for your winner, Gershon.
It was unanimous, no controversy here tonight. And Rafael Dudek may not want to sleep on the right side of his body tonight.
No, but you got to be impressed with Gershon really showcasing spectacular techniques and an exciting style, and that's what we continuing to need in the Glory Ring.
Can't wait to see what the Israeli has in store for us in the months ahead here in Glory as he wins in his debut. Still to come, Ariel Sepulveda returns to Glory for the first time in 2 years. His seek and destroy style will be put to the test against New York's own Joe Taylor. There he is, and he's anxious to show he belongs among the elite fighters in the middleweight division. But first, the highly anticipated debut of French destroyer Anissa Meksen. Friday, August 25th at the Sears Center Arena, Chicago. A storm sweeps into town for Glory 44 Super Fight Series with middleweight monster Mike Lemaire, heavyweight Romanian tank Catlin Morisanu, All-American hero Tiffany Time Bomb Van Soos defends her world title, plus Warren the Destroyer Thompson. Glory 44 Super Fight Series, Friday, August 25th at Sears Center Arena, Chicago. Don't miss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we next turn our attention to the women's ranks of Glory in a bantamweight matchup scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. She comes from Brazil's fight capital all the way to New York to make her Glory debut. Here is Jade Menezes.
Jade Menezes fighting out of Brazil, and boy, could she spoil the debut tonight of Anissa Meksen. We really haven't talked about her all that much, Joe, but she's very capable of winning here tonight.
Yeah, because she has a lot of power, and if you have power in your hands, you always have a chance, and she made her way getting into Glory by being part of the Road to Glory Brazil, where she won a fight against Muay Thai world champion Dos Anjos back in 2016. She's excited to make her big Glory kickboxing debut.
She was named Female Fighter of the Year after going undefeated in 12 bouts back in 2014. Here comes Anissa Meksen.
The music is appropriate. Anissa Meksen out of France into New York City.
She said her one addiction is wearing Jordan shoes, and yes, she bought a pair here this week in New York and cannot wait to light this crowd up here with an epic performance against the Brazilian.
Yeah, and she has a crazy record of 91 wins with only 3 losses, and she's a 5-time European champion, 11-time French national champion. She's got 11 world titles from various organizations, so she's definitely one of the best female fighters in the world.
Here is our tale of the tape. Nissa Meksen and Menezes. It's a catchweight bout. These women weighing in at 117 and 115 pounds respectively. Professional experience, Joe, it is not even close.
Yeah, we keep mentioning it, and
Ladies
that's
and
what makes her
gentlemen, we are
so
once
dangerous.
again scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. She had a defining victory at the Road to Glory tournament in Brazil 1 year ago. Her professional record, 12 wins with just 1 loss. 5 of those wins coming by way of knockout. She stands 5 feet 3 inches tall, 1.60 meters, and weighed in at 115.5 pounds, 52.3 kilos. She's here tonight, fighting out of Curitiba, Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jade Menezes. Here now is her opponent, standing on my left and fighting out of the white corner, an 11-time world champion, one of the most decorated females in the world. Her professional record impressive, 91 wins with just 3 losses, 29 of those wins by knockout. At 5 feet 6 inches tall, 1.68 meters, she went in at fight time at an even 117 pounds, 53.2 kilos. Fighting tonight out of France, ladies and gentlemen, here is Nissa Meksen. And once again, your referee in charge is Paul Nichols.
Ladies, you understand the rules that you're fighting to. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Do you have any questions? Touch gloves if you like. Push back.
Joe, everyone is impressed by what Meksen has done in this sport. Menezes, on the other hand, says, yes, she's good, but I'm better. They come out swinging. Menezes wearing black gloves, Meksen in white.
And what makes Meksen so dangerous, you can see, is her movement. She's got a good bounce to her step. She keeps good distance, and she's very hard to hit. She says her style is that hit and not get hit. So she's going to move in and out, a lot of circling, where Menezes is going to want to close that space, get inside, and use some power punches.
How much of a difference will the experience make in this fight?
Well, it should play out. Menezes is still very new. She has a lot of MMA experience as well, but this is a different level with Meksen having, again, that 93 professional wins.
91-3-0. She has 21 wins, or 29 wins rather, by knockout. Menezes, 5 of her 12 wins are by KO as well.
There's that movement. She's gonna hit
and a nice uppercut by Meksen.
There's that movement. She slips. She gets outside. She's not going to be a standing target for Menezes to land those power punches.
Oh, and a big straight, almost push kick or a front kick right to the jaw.
Menezes came right back to showing her toughness.
She promised to be the aggressor in this fight. She has not let us down.
What she really needs to do, Menezes, is not chase Meksen. She needs to kind of cut off the ring. This way she can kind of save some energy, try to corner Meksen to land those power shots.
But at the same time, can Menezes win a technical fight against someone like Meksen?
No, that's why she's got to get on the inside like she's doing now and try to win those in-close exchanges.
Right there, she took 2 to give 1, did Menezes. Menezes fights out of Hemmers Gym in Curitiba, Brazil, one of the great fighting cities in the world. Both these women, lightning quick hands. Menezes has never been out of Brazil, ever, for anything. So her eyes were as wide as 2 saucers as she landed and saw the Statue of Liberty just outside JFK. spinning attack there from Mexen rather.
Menezes came right in. That's what she has to do. Try to every opportunity she has to get on the inside. She needs to take advantage and go and throw.
Mexen never stops bouncing on her toes. Looks like she's on a trampoline. And another front kick to the face.
Mexen tried to use those knees versus that forward pressure.
And again, describe that as a front kick or push kick to the face.
Well, that would be more like a front kick. She's trying to really land and get those ball of that foot to that chin. And we've seen Anderson Spider Silva knock people out like
But it seems like instead of more of a straight up kick, it's more of a push out kick at the same time.
Yeah, it comes more on a 45 and tries to clip the chin. It's a very dangerous strike when you land it. And you can see, like we were saying, with her footwork, she likes that, hit without being hit style, and she's really using that footwork, using her southpaw stance, and her resume is just incredible. And if you follow women's kickboxing, wins over Iman Barlow and Isis Verbeek is very good to have on your resume.
As for Menezes' constant forward pressure, you didn't need us to tell you that. You just saw it. She fights out of Curitiba, Brazil. Hasn't had a lot of high-level experience because there aren't that many big-time kickboxers in South America right now.
Yeah, but she's doing the right fight right now. She has to put the pressure. She knows has less experience, so she just has to go out there and fight her heart out.
She told us, in fact, that she usually spars and trains with guys because she just can't find any female partners.
And she just ran out without her mouth guard, so that's that heart that she needs to show.
Round 2 scheduled for 3 here at the theater at Madison Square Garden Arena. A couple punches, and Menezes getting the worst of that exchange.
Mexen's being comfortable, trying to staying in there and exchanging. She moves, but if she's going to plant, she doesn't mind exchanging and fighting back. Good combination from Mexen.
Joe, when you know as much about kickboxing as you do, break down the footwork that we're seeing from Mexen right now. It really is impressive up close.
Well, I really enjoy her footwork because she's really good at what I call the triangle step. She kind of hits and moves out, circles around, really making it hard for Menezes to land her low kicks. When she gets in that neutral stance, it's very hard to land low kicks. And there you go. She's in and out, circling laterally, never being a standing target.
And I know you appreciate the fact that Mexen always throws a low kick on her way out of an exchange.
You know it, and that's why it's going to be an amazing fight if she has this opportunity to fight Tiffany Van Soos, because Van Soos is known for her footwork, so both girls are going to showcase some high-level footwork.
Of course, Tiffany Van Soos, our current champion, and she will be defending that title for the first time next month in Chicago. Tickets are on sale right now. Go to glorykickboxing.com for more information. So, of course, we continue to fawn over Mexen. What are you going to tell Menezes to do to turn this thing around?
Well, she's got to keep putting that pressure on. She's got to show a lot of heart, a lot of durability. But I'm very impressed the fact that she's staying in there. She's not intimidated by that record. She just keeps pushing forward.
Break! Fight! Mexen has 94 professional fights, and she's only 29 years old, right in the prime of her career, and they both start to open up there a little bit, and that's what Menezes wants to happen.
That's exactly what she wants to happen. That's her best opportunity to land something there.
And Mexen perhaps thinking, hey, I'm at Madison Square Garden, it's my glory debut. Let me let it out a little bit here.
Mexen is throwing a lot of straight punches. She's landed a good uppercut in that first round. Not sure why she's not changing the angles of her punches.
Round 2 in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Another good round for Anissa Mexen,
who's landed 86 total strikes compared to 52 by Menezes. And I just mentioned it, ladies and gentlemen, but Glory does return to the Windy City Glory Super Fight Series Chicago Friday, August 25th, and Tiffany Time Bomb Bensouz makes her first title defense. The co-main event features that man, the Romanian wrecking ball, Catlin Morisanu. Comes your way Friday, August 25th from the Sears Center. Check out glorykickboxing.com for more information. Round 3 here. Shadi Menezes out of Brazil wearing the black gloves, and this is Mexin from France wearing the white.
I love the way Menezes comes out.
Like a stalker.
Very determined. She knows she needs to get inside and really put that pressure on. She's down 2 rounds now, so she really needs to go in there and put some good pressure and hands on Mexin.
And another one of those hybrid push/front kicks to the face lands for Mexin. Well, Menezes has done a good job at putting leather in the face of Mexin.
She keeps coming forward, showing she has great conditioning. She hasn't slowed down. Even though she's eating punches in the meantime, she's still keeping her guard up, coming in, trying to hit the body, land low kicks.
Both these athletes look relatively fresh, considering the output they both had. Blood continues to pour out of the nose now of Menezes. Menezes knows the kick is coming. She just walks right through it in order to get those close shots off.
She's throwing good combinations too. A lot of punch to kick. She trains out of Hemmers Team Brazil. They're known for good combinations, good coming forward style.
And as I said, the woman that inspired her to be what she is today, Chris Cyborg, the famous MMA fighter, calls her her hero. Total strikes thrown just about the same, but landed not close. Mexin with 38 more strikes landed. Not sure I've seen a fighter that bounces on their toes as much as Anissa Mexin does. Just kind of glides around the ring. Hop in here, hop in there.
Let's see, there's about 23 seconds left for Menezes to keep putting that pressure on.
The corner trying to scream encouragement. Oh, and a right hand connects for Mexin. One of the best punches of the fight.
Mexin just kept so composed throughout this whole fight. Really picking her apart, moving on the outside. Those front kicks have really slowed down Menezes.
A brave performance by Shadi Menezes, but clearly not enough to beat one of the all-time greats.
But you got to look, that was an incredible performance by Menezes, constantly pressuring forward. Still looks like she has a very promising future within Glory.
The official decision from New York City when we return to the Glory Super Fight Series. Coming up straight ahead, we head to the middleweight division. Joe Taylor and Ariel Sepulveda. And for more on that, here's Whitney Miller.
It's New York versus New York in this all-American matchup. We have Joe Taylor versus Ariel Sepulveda. Joe Taylor's father actually fought at Madison Square Garden in 1971, so you can only imagine what this win would mean to him tonight. He told me he's looking for a fight of the night performance and is going to lay it all out on the line. Ariel Sepulveda is coming off of a hiatus, a long hiatus at that, and unfortunately lost his sister this month. But he said he does not mix the two worlds. He is more prepared than he's ever been in his entire life. One way or the other, we're going to have fireworks.
Shadi Menezes and Anissa Mexen. A quality contest, but a little more one-sided than the Brazilian would have preferred.
And a lot of the highlights come from the movement versus the forward pressure of Menezes, and that was the whole fight. It was Menezes trying to get on the inside, landing good punch-to-kick combinations, but Mexen did a good job at using her front kicks. She was throwing them to the body, and there she just landed a nice one to the head, but Mexen made it very difficult for Menezes to get on the inside with those straight punches, movement, and really capitalized on Menezes coming in, and which solidified her first win in Glory.
Here are some final statistics. You can see landed 139 for Mexen, 84 for Menezes.
We go to the judges' scorecard. Here are the totals from our three ringside judges. They score this bout 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28, all for your winner by unanimous decision, Anissa Mexen.
Well, one judge saw one round for Menezes, so she can take that with her, but no shame in her performance at all. Anissa Mexen, though, wins her Glory debut, and you know she's got her eyes on the champ, Tiffany Van Soos. It seems like it's a matter of when, not if. Coming up later, many expect that this fight could very well steal the show. An all-action slugfest between American Arthur Sorsor and the much-hyped British lightweight known as the bad boy, Bailey Sugden. But coming up next, we go to the middleweight division. It's Sepulveda versus Taylor.
Time now, ladies and gentlemen, for the middleweights. First to make his way to the Glory ring, he's following in the footsteps of his legendary father from upstate New York. Please welcome Joe Taylor.
Joe Taylor, his nickname is the son of a legend, and his dad was a professional prize fighter, and in 1971 fought here at Madison Square Garden. His father no longer alive. In fact, it was his father's death. That's what made Joe Taylor decide, listen, I'm going to become a fighter. He started at the age of 26, and now 7 years later, Joe makes his Glory debut.
And I've known Joe Taylor for some time now. He's close to the Canadian border, so when we go over for fights in Buffalo, just over the border, he's been there, and he's really wanted to come to Glory for some time. He's been telling me, he's been talking about it, and I'm excited to see Joe Taylor here tonight.
This striker made the transition from MMA to kickboxing back in 2014. Here is Ariel Sepulveda.
A warm welcome for Ariel Sepulveda, who fights out of New York City at Anderson's Martial Arts Academy. He debuted at Glory 23 in Las Vegas. He was stopped by Dustin Jacoby in that fight. He's 3-0 though since that fight, fighting in outside organizations. His confidence is back. He says his power has never been greater, and he promises a dynamite performance here tonight.
Yeah, and you're going to expect an aggressive style fighter. Both guys are really going to use their boxing, and I think it's going to come down to who's got the most power.
And now for our tale of the tape in this, the middleweight division, 187 pounds, 85 kilos, both men 33 years old. But it's Sepulveda who's 2 inches taller, but Joe Taylor has a 2.5-inch reach advantage.
Yeah, both of these guys are 33, but they're still very new to the kickboxing world. And it's Sepulveda with a slight edge in professional experience, having 8 fights versus the 3 of Joe Taylor. And it's Joe Taylor who has 1 loss on his record, and it is Sepulveda who beat Joey George, who beat Joe Taylor. So Joe Taylor has a lot to win. He wants to take that revenge off of Sepulveda.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in Glory's middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. He's a 2-time amateur Golden Gloves national and world champion. His professional record, 2 wins, 1 loss. Both of those wins coming by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, 1.80 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at 186.5 pounds, 84.6 kilos. He fights tonight out of Lockport, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe, son of a legend, Taylor. His opponent standing on my left and fighting out of the white corner, making his Glory debut. Came in Las Vegas at Glory 23. His professional record, 6 wins, 2 losses. 1 of those professional wins by knockout. At 6 feet 1 inch tall, 1.85 meters. He weighed in at 183.5 pounds, 83.3 kilos. Fighting tonight out of the Bronx, New York. Here is Ariel Smash Sepulveda. And your referee in charge in the Glory ring, Big Dan Magliano.
Gentlemen, center, please. All right, gentlemen, been through the locker room. Want to pay my commands at all time. Want to take yourselves at all time. Any questions from white corner? Any questions from black corner? Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you guys.
Some good buzz for this matchup. 2 of New York's finest squaring off. Ariel Smash Sepulveda and Joe, son of a legend, Taylor.
Ready, let's go fight.
Should be a good one. Sepulveda wearing white gloves, Taylor in the black.
Both very strong, big built. Both have a lot of power. I'd be surprised if this goes all 3 rounds.
Ariel Sepulveda's sister died this month, said he's dedicating this performance to her, has promised that he won't get too emotional. In fact, he said the experience has brought his family closer together, which is a good thing, and you can see many of them in the crowd here tonight.
Both really respecting each other's power.
Joe, you saw Sepulveda fight Dustin Jacoby in Las Vegas a few years ago. What did you make of his performance that night?
Well, he came out really looking to power punch, where Jacoby was a little bit more accurate with his boxing and his movement. Unfortunately, suffered a knockout in that fight. But since that fight, he's learned a lot, he's improved a lot, and he wants to showcase.
Just judging by body language, right now Sepulveda seems a lot more calm in there. Joe Taylor seems a bit tense.
Yeah, Sepulveda trying to control the center, where Joe Taylor's trying to move a little bit more. But both guys are really being a little cautious, keeping their distance. Once they get a little bit more comfortable, they'll start opening up with their punches.
Whoa, and a nice high kick, which caught Sepulveda off guard, and now Taylor moving in.
Beautiful, beautiful high kick from Joe Taylor. Really surprised Sepulveda. He was going with low kicks, trying to establish, but bang, good setup from Taylor.
And Sepulveda with the hand pound said, nice job. But Joe Taylor with a nice shot to get this round started here. We got a minute left to go. And that may be the only strike that's landed so far.
There's Taylor throwing everything behind those shots.
Not the best technique we've seen, but there's still a lot of power behind those punches. Sepulveda goes down, and that is ruled a slip. So no knockdown.
It was a hard low kick, but Taylor just keeps coming forward. He bull rushes forward like that, which threw Sepulveda off balance.
And boy, Taylor is geeked up in there right now. He just wants to land something.
Taylor just loves to fight. He's got boxing experience. He fights pro MMA. He's got pro kickboxing experience.
Taylor said he does not watch any video. All he needs is a picture of his opponent. So he got a picture of Sepulveda, hung in his gym, and looked at it all the time and said, I just envisioned me smashing his face.
Sepulveda opening up with kicks of his own.
And a good knee there for Sepulveda in round one. Not a lot of landed strikes, but there was a good high kick and certainly a lot of effort from Joe Taylor.
Yeah, both guys aren't looking to set up those power shots. They're throwing everything with power. And you can see Joe Taylor really using that forward motion. And when he throws, he keeps going forward. Where Sepulveda is going to be a little bit more aggressive as his fighting style, but today he's a little bit more hesitant. He's got to respect the power of Joe Taylor, but he is a natural southpaw, but you see him fighting orthodox, which means his power side, his lead side.
And yes, he used to play Barney at kids' birthday parties. He did the voice for us. He did the movement.
You guys had a Barney off.
Yeah, I did sing the song.
He definitely won.
He did. As for Joe Taylor, the son of the legend, we mentioned his father fighting here at Madison Square Garden. Says he's a counter puncher with knockout power, but he just is a puncher.
Yeah, he's just going forward, and let's take a look at that high kick.
You ready?
Boom, beautifully over the guard. Sepulveda didn't expect that high kick from Taylor at all.
Joe Taylor said, I'm going to win this fight, and I'm going to impress the crowd when I do it. How many times do you get a chance to fight at Madison Square Garden in front of your hometown crowd?
And he's still new in his kickboxing world. But to get a fight like this in your early career is just a huge opportunity.
Taylor said, listen, a lot of guys are just excited to fight for glory. I belong here. There's a difference. I'm confident, and I know I'll be back after knocking out Sepulveda tonight. Oh, and is that a low blow? It was.
I know, neutral corner. Neutral corner. Each got once.
And Taylor could get up to 5 minutes to rest here.
I know it's an accident, but quick second one. I don't want any more, please. No more.
Look at points away. Yeah, it's Sepulveda really trying to use that inside low kick, but slipped up and hit Taylor right between the legs.
Accidental, but I warn him one more time, point deduction.
You could hear our referee telling the judges that it was accidental, but I'm giving him a warning.
He's got one low blow, no more low blows.
Just before that strike, it hit low before, but Taylor was able to recover. So, yeah, one more. Mergliata says he's taking a point.
Big Dan Mergliata, he's a massive man, isn't he? He's huge. You're looking at these 187-pounders, and then they're standing next to him. They look small. Now they're
exchanging a little bit more. A high kick there for Sepulveda.
Sepulveda trying to showcase more of his kicks now, where Taylor's trying to use that jab, trying to get in there, push Sepulveda off balance.
Sepulveda felt that his Glory debut against Dustin Jacoby just didn't go his way because he just couldn't focus on the fight. He said he was in Las Vegas, he'd never been there, he kind of got caught up in the hoopla of everything, and the fight became secondary. He vowed not to make that mistake again here this weekend.
And he's staying a little bit more composed than I expected, and he's staying out tall, staying longer.
Oh, and a left hand from Joe Taylor. Sepulveda, though, quickly back on his feet. What a flash shot for Joe Taylor.
He's got power in everything he throws.
And here we go. Sepulveda right now does not look good. Taylor's going to try and finish.
Right after they touched gloves, Taylor came in throwing big power punches.
And now Sepulveda back against the ropes. Mergliata looking on intently. Sepulveda's got to get something back now.
I'm not sure if he has much under his legs.
And now Taylor trying to pick his spot more.
Right. It's got to be clean, guys.
So Sepulveda somehow absorbed all those shots from Taylor. Can he make it to the end of round 2? There's the left hand, and Sepulveda goes down again.
2, 3, 4.
He's stumbling around.
6, 7.
Let's see.
8, 9. Put your hands up. Step forward. Let's go. Box.
He's going to continue. Will he make it to the end of round 2?
I'm not sure how much time's left. I thought it was over.
There's 10 seconds to go. I just heard the clap. Sepulveda, one hand on the ropes. He slipped and fell. Are they going to call that a knockdown? They will, and it's over. Joe Taylor vowed to knock Sepulveda out, and he just did it.
And those power punches were everything. He landed some good left hands in those exchanges, and what a debut by Joe Taylor.
Joe Taylor has a section of this crowd. There they are. They are going hog wild in New York City as Taylor dedicating this victory to his father's memory, who fought here in 1971. And you know Dad is looking down, smiling ear to ear.
Oh, he's got to have a lot of pressure off of him. He put a lot of pressure on himself to perform, and he definitely did that.
Tears of joy for Joe Taylor's family and friends. And look at him. He hardly has the energy to celebrate. Gave it all he's got, ladies and gentlemen.
There's this promoter, Amir Abdallah, going nuts. Let's take a look at some of these knockouts. Started off with a low kick, came over with the right hand and clipped him with the left hook. I believe that was the first one. And then Joe Taylor throwing everything with power. Just threw that overhand right. Looked like it skinned the ground before it hit Sepulveda. Just throwing everything he has behind those shots. Here's the last knockdown. There wasn't much time left, so Joe Taylor put the pressure on, throwing some wild hooks. But Sepulveda couldn't handle all that pressure and that constant power punching from Joe Taylor.
We asked Taylor what his favorite technique was, and he said, my favorite technique is anything that puts my opponent to sleep. He found it tonight. Joe Taylor soaking in the adulation from this crowd. He fights out of Lockport, New York, and everyone coming down to see that. They got what they paid for. A second-round knockout for the son of a legend. We'll make it official when we return to Madison Square Garden. A fantastic performance for Joe Taylor. Earlier tonight, Ite Gershon out of Israel, nearly as impressive. And Whitney Miller speaking to him right now.
I'm backstage with Itai Gershon as he came off of a dominating performance just a minute ago. Now, you're the first Israeli fighter to sign with Glory. Describe your emotions to me right now.
I feel very blessed to represent Israel, to be the first Israel in Glory. I feel very proud. You know, it's amazing for me.
Did anything surprise you in your opponent tonight at all?
Not at all. No, I knew him well. I knew that he's very tough, and I do my thing.
You certainly did. Nice work tonight.
We're back here at Madison Square Garden. Joe Taylor in his corner haven't stopped celebrating since we last saw you.
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure on them, and they came in with this, putting this extra pressure with dedicating this fight to his father. But he definitely performed, showing his power. And he said he was going to put a lot of hands and a lot of pressure on Sepulveda, and he just did that, coming in with a mission. That's aggression of a man who really wants to win.
He went full Neanderthal at times on Sepulveda. The technique was certainly lacking. The power was not.
Yeah, that's just all heart. That's all the will to win and really make a name for himself. And he did that just now.
Well, Joe Taylor told us, listen, I have an unwavering belief that I'm the best 185-pound kickboxer in the world. Is he that good? We don't know, but tonight he certainly did what he said he was going to do, a knockout win over Ariel Sepulveda.
And you can see it was all from that boxing and the power punches, and it's Joe Taylor putting all those power punches on the head of Sepulveda.
Let's make it official. Tim Hughes, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout comes to an end with an official time of 2 minutes, 55 seconds of that second round by knockout for your winner, Joe Taylor.
If you're Core Hemmers, what kind of fighter do you throw in there against this beast next?
Well, if I'm a matchmaker, I would set him up with another pressure fighter because it creates a lot of good action, but he still has a lot of evolving to do. He showcased a lot of good boxing, a lot of good power punches. He showed some signs of good kicking and mixing in low kicks. We saw that right high kick land, so I'm excited to see the evolution of Joe Taylor.
Joe Taylor, his Glory debut, a knockout win in his home state in front of his home crowd at Madison Square Garden. Joe Taylor living the dream. Coming up later, two destructive forces collide in our main event. The killer Ukrainian, Pavel Zervalev, looking for his first Glory World title as he faces off against the former light heavyweight champion of the world, Brazilian Saulo Cavallari. But up next, two lightweights promise they're going to steal the show. Arthur Sorsor makes his Glory debut and looks to put his heavy hands on the mean muggin' bad boy out of England. There he is, Bailey Sugden. Cannot wait for this fight, and it's coming up next. Friday, August 25th at the Sears Center Arena, Chicago. A storm sweeps into town for Glory 44 Super Fight Series with middleweight monster Mike Lemaire, heavyweight Romanian tank Catlin Morisanu, all-American hero Tiffany Time Bomb Van Soos defends her world title, plus Warren the Destroyer Thompson. Glory 44 Super Fight Series, Friday, August 25th at Sears Center Arena, Chicago. Don't miss it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, time now for the featherweight. He was a finalist in the Road to Glory UK 8-man tournament earlier this year. Please make him feel welcome, New York City, Bailey Sugden.
Trying to be
He is known as the Bad Boy, Bailey Sugden. His father is his trainer, and we asked his father why he got the nickname Bad Boy, and he said, well, he's my son, and I can attest he is a bad boy.
Yeah, and he is from a family of fighters. His brother Chad Sugden fought at Glory Las Vegas. His brother Regis is an MMA fighter, and he's the youngest of the three boys, so he's had to fight for some love in the family, and he's definitely a bad boy. He's always mean mugging. He's always want to put the show on, and man, I'm excited to see him. And the one word I have to describe Bailey is tough. You gotta, if you haven't done so, go in on YouTube and watch Bailey fight in the Road to Glory and how he got here. He had 3 fights in one night, showing more heart than I've seen in a long time from a fighter.
He arrives in New York City fresh off a TKO win in Thailand. Here's Arthur Sorcerer.
Arthur Sorcerer, known as the Black Dragon, born in Liberia. We asked him to describe his style to us. He said, I'm a pressure fighter who likes to seek and destroy. My power is dangerous, and everyone will learn about it tonight.
Yeah, and he also moved over to Thailand. He's training out of Phuket Top Team, so he's constantly fighting. He's surrounded by fighting all day, every day, and he's given his life to the sport. And when I talked to him at pre-fight interview, as soon as he takes off that shirt, I said, you remind me a little bit of a Francois Ombang mixed with a Melvin Manhoff. He's got that big, strong mentality, but he's really motivated to make a bad debut for Sugden. I'm expecting a lot of good action, and this was one of my early picks for Fight of the Night.
Arthur Sorcerer won an All-Japan 8-man tournament a couple years ago. He said, no one believed I could win. No one thought I'd even win one fight. I showed them, and I'll show you what I can do tonight in my Glory debut. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. It's the United Kingdom versus the United States. Sorcerer, born in Liberia, but now fighting out of New York. Used to live in Connecticut. Has a lot of family and friends who made the drive down. And he will hold Joe a 4-inch reach advantage.
Yeah, he also has an advantage when it comes to professional experience. He's got a record of 17 wins, 7 losses. And as I said, he's moved to Thailand, and he's surrounding himself and focusing a full career on kickboxing.
Let's send it into the ring now, and Tim Hughes.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in Glory's featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, a 2009 gold medalist at the WKA World Championships. His young professional record, 8 wins with just 1 loss, 2 of those wins coming by way of knockout. At 5 feet 7 1/2 inches, 1.72 meters. He weighed in at 142 1/2 pounds, 64.8 kilos. He's here tonight in New York from Newark, England. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Bailey Bad Boy Sugden. Here now is his opponent, fighting out of the white corner, trained in boxing and Muay Thai. His professional record, 17 wins, 7 losses, 1 bout scored even, 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, 1.65 meters, and weighed in at fight time at 142 1/2 pounds, 64.7 kilos. He fights tonight out of West Haven, Connecticut, by way of Phuket, Thailand. Ladies and gentlemen, the Black Dragon, Arthur Sorcerer. And the third man inside the Glory ropes, your referee is Oscar Martinez.
Fighter, come on over. Fighter, come on over. All right, gentlemen, you've had your final instructions. Any questions? Any questions? I want a clean, fair fight. Obey my commands at all times. You understand? Touch them up. Back to your corners. Judge. Judge. Time.
We're expecting big things from this fight. Each
Fighter.
fighter talking a lot of smack yesterday. And here we go. It's the Black Dragon versus the Bad Boy. Bailey Sugden wearing the black gloves, Sorcerer in the white. Joe, what's going to be the difference in this fight?
Well, I think it's going to be Bailey really trying to use his movement and his boxing, where Sorcerer's going to try to control that center of the ring, try to land his power shot.
Already a low blow.
Let's watch those knees, unintentional, okay? Fighter, you ready? All right, let's go. Fight!
I asked Bailey Sugden's father, Dean, who is his trainer, what he did when his boys got into fights with each other almost every single day, and Bailey interrupted and said Dad would join in with us. Everybody in the house was fighting each other. Good right hand there from Sugden.
Yeah, Sugden's got really good boxing, good movement.
Where that knee buckled Sorcerer for a second, snapped his head back.
Sorcerer really trying to control that ring. Sugden's got good knees as well.
And a lot of power. Sorcerer with several highlight reel knockouts. 7 of his 17 wins coming by KO.
There's those knees from Bailey. And he mixes levels with his punches. He's good at taking that left hook to the body, mixing in uppercuts. There's those power kicks from Sorcerer.
Left hand on the way in there for Sorcerer.
Sugden's corner asking for level changes, body head.
Slip. Back, back.
Sorcerer said he was not impressed with Bailey Sugden,
Fight!
but he doesn't underestimate him. Believes he's a tough fighter, but in the end, his skills will shine through. But at the same time, Sorcerer said, listen, I'm an entertainer. I'd rather lose in an exciting fashion than win in a boring fight.
And he's doing that by constantly pushing forward. He's not moving back.
Body shot from Sorcerer. And another one. Sugden certainly doing more damage. He's landed 36 strikes already compared to 12 for Sorcerer.
Time. Fighter, look at me. Watch the holding. Ready?
Sorcerer
Ready,
warned,
fighter!
told to watch the holding.
Fight!
Yeah, he was holding the kick and he trying to trip the leg out of Bailey. He needs to kick it out. You can't sweep it out. No trips and sweeps. Nice angles from Bailey.
Nice job by Bailey to get his hands back up to block the return punches.
Yeah, he's moving, fighting on angles, changing levels, but Sorcerer's just standing there.
Whoa!
That was clearly a slip. Almost like he was on a banana peel.
Fight time!
Round 1, a good one for the Brit.
Yeah, definitely, in my opinion, took that round. He's more active, landing more, doing a good job at changing levels.
Let's get to learn a little bit more about each of these two fighters, and we'll start with the Black Dragon. He said, as you can see the quote there, likes to make his fights as beautiful and as fun as possible because he wants to watch it later and be entertained.
Yeah, and he's doing that by really staying in the pocket. He could be backing up, creating space, but no, he's deciding to stay in exchange with Sugden.
As for the bad boy, Bailey Sugden, comes from a family of fighters, as we mentioned, and he looked really good in the road to glory. Won 2 fights, lost in the final, but many observers believe he just simply ran out of gas in that last fight.
Yeah, and each fight was just incredible, and he was knocked down, came back, knocked him out, came back, won. It was just a lot of back and forth exchanges showing a lot of heart.
And the knee he landed to Andrew Liddell in the first fight of that tournament sent Liddell literally out of the ring.
And that's what he's trying to do against Sorcerer. As Sorcerer's coming in, he's trying to land those knees.
Now Bailey with a charge there on the bull. He is fired up, you can tell. Came out of that corner, hot and heavy.
Well, he won't stop. He's going to keep this pressure for all 3 rounds. But Sorcerer's life is the kickboxing. He trains all day, every day, twice a day in Thailand.
Again, a reminder, this is the Glory debut for both of these fighters. You want to make an impact, you want to make an impression. Of course, you want to win.
Working the body, then mixing up the head. Body, body, head. Nice pivot out by Bailey.
Believe it or not, by looking at him, he used to go to stage school and took dance lessons.
Snow's heads.
You don't look at Bailey Sugden and think, oh, I bet he's a classically trained dancer.
He's got some good footwork. Maybe that's where he developed it. And just like how Sorcerer's continually walking him down, trying to corner him, but he's got to do a better job at keeping him there, being a little bit more active. He says his favorite strikes or combinations. He needs to throw a little bit more of them.
Bailey also wasn't shy about telling us what motivates him. He said money. He wants to make a lot of it. You make more when you win. Nice high kick. And you can see that got Sorcerer rather upset just by the look on his face.
Continually walking forward. Continually countering back the Sorcerer.
Bailey Sugden has thrown 50 more strikes than Sorcerer has. It doesn't feel that way, though.
No, it's because it's the pressure. Just keep walking forward, making Bailey fight on his heels. Or try anyway.
Spinning back fist, missed by about 3 feet. And another one. He's turning into a helicopter.
Pushing. Back up.
Nice exchange of knees.
Stop! Stop!
10 seconds to go here in round 2.
Time! Second down. Touch him up. Touch him up, gentlemen.
This is the third and final round. The Bad Boy versus the Black Dragon. Joe, how do you have it through 2?
Well, I'm going to give it 2 rounds to 0 for Sugden. He's more active. He's landing more. That's the reason I'm giving it. Those clean scoring strikes.
Those are good reasons, Joe.
Yeah. Or I need to see Sorcerer do a little bit more. He is blocking it down. He's trying to corner and pressure Sugden, but I just need a little bit more output from him.
Sorcerer appeared to lose his footing. Not sure exactly what happened, but he walks right into a left hand. And a wind-up uppercut for Sugden misses. And this is the kind of fight that Sugden just loves.
Oh, this is how he fights. He gets people to fight this way. He loves these fights. He'll fight anyone, anytime, anywhere.
He's still a teenager, Joe. Teenager. Incredible. Sorcerer, 30 years old. Sorcerer in peak physical condition, no doubt about that. Eats, sleeps, and breathes this sport. But look at the total punches. The discrepancy is rather alarming. There's Sorcerer. Flying knee there. Jump knee from Sorcerer. Sugden really wants to land that spinning back fist. He's going to throw about 10 more of those until he gets one. Well, that'll work.
He's mixing up those back kicks, some high kicks, lots of good knees. Just circled out of that corner beautifully.
How slowly would you like Bailey Sugden's team to bring him along here in Glory?
Well, I just think he'll fight anyone, so I would like to see him get some good fights, some good build-up. He's just so young. I want to see him develop his full potential.
More spinning attack from Sugden.
Stop! Clean break. Wait, 1 minute.
Sorcerer has a minute to find something here. He surely needs a knockout at this stage.
He had some good flying knees. Doesn't seem like his inside punches and kicks will do it. Beautiful. Jab to the head, right hook to the body.
His father yelling Superman punch, Superman, and he gave it to him. Took a shin right in the ribcage there. Still trying to spin back fist. There's the back kick. Great performance for Bailey Sugden.
Everything we expected and maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, he did well. He did really well. I knew he was going to come forward. I knew his boxing would have been the difference, but very technical with the more experience. He fought an older fighter, but he did a great job at keeping composed, using his movement and his boxing, and like I said, this kid's got a bright future ahead of him.
The official decision from MSG when the Glory Super Fight Series returns. Friday, August 25th at the Sears Center Arena, Chicago. A storm sweeps into town for Glory 44 Super Fight Series with middleweight monster Mike Lemaire, heavyweight Romanian tank Catlin Morisanu, all-American hero Tiffany Time Bomb Van Soos defends her world title, plus Warren the Destroyer Thompson. Glory 44 Super Fight Series, Friday, August 25th at Sears Center Arena, Chicago. Don't miss it. Welcome back here to the theater at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Bailey Sugden and Arthur Sorcerer.
And this fight was really about the activity and the good boxing of Sugden. Able to kind of use some good knees on the middle, mixed up with his boxing. Really started showcasing a lot of good kicks and spin kicks, but Arthur Sorcerer showed a lot of good heart, trying to control the center of the ring, constantly moving forward. And that constant pressure put on a good fight for both of the crowds here and for each other.
Here are the final strike count statistics, and you can see Bailey Sugden, 113 landed compared to 61 for the American.
And there you go, it's Bailey Sugden really putting a lot of pressure with his boxing. And like his corner was saying, head body, head butting, and he did a good job at evenly distributing his body and head punches.
Let's make it official. Tim Hughes with the scores.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout goes the distance, so we go to the judges' scorecard. All three judges sitting ringside see about this game. They score this bout 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. A unanimous decision for your winner, Bailey Sugden.
The bad boy with a good performance at Madison Square Garden gets his first ever win here in Glory.
He's just got so much potential, and let's see who he's matched up with next. But his dad here must be proud, and his brother Chad even has a win against Myrtle Grunhardt, so that fighting family definitely has a lot of heart and a lot of potential.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, up next, it's our main event for the interim light heavyweight championship of the world.
Saulo Cavallari. here comes Pavel Zuralev.
Going in for the kill. Wicked intention.
This man last competed at Glory 38 Chicago in February and brings an 82% knockout ratio to the Glory ring. Here comes Saulo Cavallari.
Saulo Cavallari, fighting out of Curitiba, Brazil. One of the best kickboxers ever from that country. The former light heavyweight champion of the world. And Joe, he's got a chance to get back on top again here tonight.
Yeah, and he has 3 fights with Vakhitov. He first beat Vakhitov by a split decision in Glory 20. Unfortunately on the losing side on the last 2, but he's not done with Vakhitov. He has to beat Zuralev tonight if he wants another crack at it.
Of course, Artem Vakhitov, the reigning middleweight champion, on the shelf with a light heavyweight champion rather, on the shelf with a broken hand. He's watching intently here tonight at the Garden to see what goes down.
He's coming off a TKO victory over Zinedine Hammerlane in Nice, France. Here is Pavel Zuralev.
If it comes down to physiques, no one would ever beat Pavel Zuralev. The man is absolutely shredded. He looks like a killer, and Joe, quite frankly, he is a killer.
And we saw that in his last fight against Zinedine Hammerlane, where he was able to really put the pressure on with his boxing and knock Hammerlane right out. But he also has a 2012 win over Cavallari, so that's got to give him a lot of confidence coming in.
It's time for our tail of the tape for this, our main event here on the Glory Super Fight Series. It's for the light heavyweight interim championship. 5 years older is Zuralev, fighting out of the Ukraine, but it's Cavallari who does have a slight 1-inch reach advantage.
You can tell it's Zuralev that has that professional experience, but both guys are both very experienced. 81 versus 65 fights, both with great win percentages, but it's that 82% knockout ratio of Cavallari that makes him very dangerous. But Zuralev does have that power as well, as he's knocked out many heavyweights as well.
Cavallari not in the ring a long time, on average, less than 2 rounds, Joe.
Yeah, but you can see that power shots, that everything that Saulo Cavallari throws has power and knockout written all over it.
82% of his punches are power shots. Here's the way they will score the fight tonight. Number of knockdowns, cumulative damage inflicted, number of clean scoring strikes with spectacular techniques, then it's normal techniques followed by degree of aggressiveness.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your headline super fight of the evening. 3 rounds for the interim Glory Light Heavyweight Championship of the world, and a rematch 4 years in the making between 2 of the world's top 5 with a combined 75 career knockouts. This bout sanctioned by the World Kickboxing Association, and at the opening bell, your referee is Chris Wagner. From New York to New Zealand, Glory Kickboxing fans are watching around the world. It's time for Glory! Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, a WGP Brazilian champion who makes his 11th Glory start. His professional record, 60 wins with just 5 losses, 49 of those wins coming by knockout. He stands 6 feet 2.5 inches, 1.89 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at an even 209 pounds, 94.8 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Curitiba, Brazil, he is the former Glory Light Heavyweight Champion of the world. He is Saulo Cassius Clay Cavallari. Here now is his opponent, standing on my left and fighting out of the white corner, a WBKF European and world champion. His record, 70 wins versus just 11 losses, and 26 of those wins by knockout. At 6 feet 1.5 inches, 1.87 meters, he weighed in at 207.5 pounds, 94.1 kilos. Fighting tonight out of the Ukraine, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Pavel the Cayman Zuralev. And your referee in charge of this bout is Chris Wagner.
Go ahead, Pablo. Solid. All right, gentlemen, right over the instructions in the dressing room. A nice, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. In case you've been knocked down, go to the neutral corner I tell you to go to. Remain that's how I call you out. Any questions over here? Any questions over here? Fight fair, fight hard. Touch them up. Judge. 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 Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
These men have combined for 75 knockouts. Get one here tonight, and it's the biggest of your life. The interim light heavyweight championship of the world on the line. Zuralev wearing the white gloves, Cavallari in the black.
Cavallari's going right to work with those low kicks, but Zuralev's coming right back with power. Everything these guys throw is going to have knockout all over it.
You can see they're winding up for the hills. Cavallari promised he'd be a little less aggressive this fight because he got burned against Artem Vakhitov. But Joe, can a Leopards change their spots when you've got a guy like Cavallari who has 65 pro fights?
Well, we're going to see, but he's already going southpaw more than I expected. Maybe that's something they've worked on. But Cavallari is a guy that still likes to use movement mixed with power combinations. I think that's his best strategy against Zuralev.
According to Nick Kalikas out of At Fight Odds, Pavel Zuralev a -175 favorite here. Saulo Cavallari plus 155. So the Ukrainian expected here to win, according to those in the know in Las Vegas. And Joe, what will be the difference in this fight?
Well, I think it's going to be Cavallari utilizing his kicks, where Zuralev is going to use a little bit more of his power punching in his boxing. So can Cavallari's kicks slow down the output of Zuralev?
Pavel Zuralev has fought almost every big name in kickboxing, and he's done most of his damage at heavyweight, beating Gohan Saki, for instance. But this is at light heavyweight, Joe. Does he continue to have the same kind of power he carried up to heavyweight at this division?
Well, we did see it in his last fight when he knocked out Hemmerling, so I'm going to say, yeah, he's bringing that power over here.
And we know how much power Cavallari has, 49 knockouts in 60 professional wins.
Remember, Cavallari has fought guys like Zach Moicasa who are known for big power punches, so this isn't new to him. He knows how to use his movement. He's got great low kicks. He just needs to keep technical and really stay tight. Watch that power. Good low kick.
This is a rematch from 2012. Joe, what did you learn from watching that fight?
Well, it was a close fight. It was Zuralev winning a decision, but asking Saulo about it, he said that was his first time in Japan, first time fighting international, so he had a lot of nerves back. Good. Fight.
Zuralev shaking that low blow off. This round's gone by pretty quickly, 30 seconds to go. Just a 3-round fight here tonight. They both exchange kicks. Cavallari got the worst of it, but not ruled a knockdown. Oh, straight right hand, partially blocked by the Brazilian.
Lots of power there.
A very close round one. And the total strike stats, 11 landed for Zuralev, 11 for Cavallari. Joe, who did you give that round to?
Well, it's very close, obviously, from the fight stats, but I'm going to give this the edge to Cavallari, just being a little bit more active. It seems like he's pushing the pace, throwing more of the combination, so I'll give a slight edge to Cavallari.
This is for the interim light heavyweight title. That man holds the light heavyweight championship of the world. Coming back, yeah, he says he's #1, and he is. He defended his title last against Saulo Cavallari, broke his hand in that fight. Haven't seen him in a while, Joe. I've talked to him this week. He's ready to get back in there.
And he's so fun to watch. He's definitely one of my favorites to watch in Glory because he just doesn't look like your typical fighter, but just so accurate, just so technical, picks his shots, stay composed. So can't wait to see him back.
And he's always moving forward, just like these two fighters. We get ready for round 2 of a scheduled 3. We're at the theater at Madison Square Garden. We are sold out here tonight. Joseph Valtellini, Todd Grisham here ringside.
Saulo using some feints.
Fight! Stop! Right. Fight!
Just waiting for one of these two fighters to land a massive shot. You know it's coming at some point.
It's just amazing to hear the sound it makes when both of these hit each other. Echoes in the theater.
I mean, just look at Zurbulev. He bench presses 385 pounds, ladies and gentlemen.
We had a little flex off. I didn't win that one.
Yeah, how do you? And he's the nicest guy, too, and he's rather shy. Keeps a low profile. Just likes to hang out at home with his girlfriend.
I did a good right hand there.
Nice body shot. And another one.
I like that Zurbulev showcasing some of his kicks. His 2 previous fights were a lot about his boxing. Inside low kick from Cavallari.
Why not rack up the points on the outside?
Yeah, and that's what Zurbulev has one loss, and that's to Machado. And what Machado did was fought on the outside, used his kicks, moved. So I'd like to see Saulo do a little bit more of that. Kick and move.
Zurbulev spending 13 years in the Ukrainian Navy. Just ended his service, so he focuses full-time now on his kickboxing. Was a boxer for several years. Perfect record 7-0, but decided, nope, I like kicking better. Boxing is just too boring for me.
Nice low kicks, follow straight right. Beautiful.
Stop! Break! Fight!
23 landed strikes for Zurbulev, 19 for Cavallari. Not quite the action-packed affair we were hoping for. But you know what? Cavallari told us he was going to be a little more patient. He is. Like I said, Joe, is that what he needs to do? Is that what he should do?
Well, I think he needs to be active on the outside. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to hit. Don't let Zurbulev let his hands go on the inside.
Keep it up. Fight.
And these rounds are so close. One good exchange that goes your way can give you the round. Nice outside leg kick on the way in, landed for Cavallari.
That was a left hook from Zurbulev, landed at the same time.
Fight!
Zurbulev looking to counter those kicks.
Cavallari walked right into that right hand.
I didn't hear that clap.
And another razor-thin, close round. Total strikes so far landed 27 for the Ukrainian, 27 for Cavallari.
Yeah, it's almost identical, and that's been that for the both round, but there's that right hand from Zurbulev that just went over the left hand of Cavallari.
Well, Joe, we're 2/3 of the way through this world title fight. What are you telling these respective fighters if you're in their corner right now?
Well, I think the fights can go either way right now. So both of these guys need to kind of put a little bit more pressure, be a little bit more active if they want to steal that round, because this fight's still up in the air.
Oh, last round. Oh, the last round.
3 minutes to go.
Last round. Out, out, out.
Zurbulev stomping on the mat now.
Back up, back up.
Wants to get in there and do
Back up,
damage.
back up.
Not a lot of time to do it. This fight could easily be 2-0 for Zurbulev, 2-0 for Cavallari, or 1-1.
certainly the fight could very well hang in the balance here for these 3 minutes.
Pick it up. All right, that's the last one, okay? Let's go. Fight.
Well, if you're looking at the Glory scoring, it's looking at damage. Both guys seem to be doing similar amounts of damage. We're looking at clean scoring strikes and spectacular. Both guys mixing up good kicks. So I think it's going to come down to landing similar. It's going to come down to aggressiveness.
You see blood now on the forehead of Cavallari.
Stop! Break! Step
Joe,
back.
you think of Cavallari as a headhunter with those punches, but he's doing the damage with kicks tonight.
Yeah, it's good low kicks. Cavallari's got some solid low kicks. Zervulev's doing a good job, though, at trying to counter them with his punches.
Kick there from Zervulev knocks Cavallari off balance for a moment.
There's Zervulev trying to counter those punches, but got hit low again.
If a point is deducted here, this would be massive.
I'm not going to warn you again. This is it. Understand? Can't do it again. You disqualify. You understand? Okay. All right.
Nice job by the referee.
You good to go?
Surely knows how close this is in a world title fight. The point there, and it's doomsday. And the referee said, let's fight. So that's what they're going to do. Cavallari going right after Zervulev.
I'm not sure what Zervulev thought happened there.
I think he wanted a touch of gloves, maybe. What to see on the replay. Either way, a legal blow landed by Cavallari, and that had Zervulev spitting blood out of his mouth.
Both guys are awake now. This is the pressure that they needed to do maybe a little bit earlier. So let's see what happens here.
A minute to go. The light heavyweight title hangs in the balance. The interim title. Will it be Zervulev or Cavallari? Oh, and a right hand snap the head back. And the Brazilian now has his back against the ropes. And again, Zervulev headhunting.
Both guys are just swinging now.
And this was what we were expecting. Two bloodied guys swinging for the fences.
There's 30 seconds left.
Hand. The best round of the fight, it seems, for Zervulev. Oh, and that right hand almost caught Cavallari. I mean, it just missed.
It just clipped him.
And they both keep looking at the clock. They're fighting like the title's on the line. A body shot from Zervulev. More kicks from Cavallari, and a high kick snaps the head of Zervulev.
Yeah, he's been going low the whole time. Now's his time to take that low kick and throw it into a high kick.
10 seconds left. Oh, is it a knockdown? Is it a knockdown? Yes, it is. It is a knockdown. The bell will ring. The fight is not over.
Come to me.
The count will happen. And now it's over. Joe, a massive, massive knockdown. Cavallari has his hands up like he won the fight, but he very may well have lost it with 2 seconds left on the clock.
I need to watch this again. I'm not too sure what happens. Well, that did clip the temple. You know what? I got to give that a knockdown. I got to call that a knockdown based on where it hit and how Cavallari fell down. I got to agree with Chris Wagner there.
Here's what got it all started. Let's look back at the earlier exchange here. You can see Zervulev maybe wanted to touch gloves. And then boom!
Front kick right between.
And then Cavallari says, let's go, man, and caught it with a left hand on the way in. A fantastic round 3, and Zervulev gets the last laugh with that left hand right above the ear, Joe. What does that do to a fighter when they get caught right there?
Well, I think that opened up and got Zervulev a little bit more active, and he put that pressure on. After that happened, Zervulev put the pressure on, and that's what made him successful. Maybe if that didn't happen, he wouldn't have got as aggressive with his boxing, and maybe have not gotten that knockdown.
Now, keep in mind, hypothetically speaking, if Cavallari won the first 2 rounds and Zervulev won round 3 with a 10-8 score, we'll have a draw and we will go an extra round. Let's look at the highlights from this fight. Not a lot happened in the first 2 rounds, Joe.
No, they're both very hesitant, very similar on the scorecard. Both guys landing similar amount of power punches, and it seemed to be Cavallari's low kicks doing the most damage in the earlier rounds, but after that little incident in the 3rd round, you know, Zervulev really woke up, And that's what he really needed, and that's what got him the knockdown, because he woke up, started being a little bit more active with his boxing.
And here's that controversial moment, at least from Zervalev's perspective. He took that kick to the chin and then caught a left hand from Cavallari, who clearly had a seek and destroy mentality after that.
Yeah, but then he came back and look what he kept doing. He kept putting the pressure on, and he got that knockdown, and that knockdown probably saved him.
And you know, a lot of times you can tell if it's a knock. Now, judging by the fighter's body language, Cavallari got off the canvas, didn't say anything to the referee, just tried to collect himself. So to me, at least, it seems like Cavallari agreed that was indeed a knockdown.
Well, I got to agree with it. The way it clipped, the way he went down, Chris Wagner had to call that a knockdown.
All right, what do the judges have to say? Tim Hughes with the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go 3 rounds of kickboxing, and once again go to the judges' scorecard. Here are the totals. They score this bout 30-26, 30-26, and 29-27. A unanimous decision, all for your winner. And now, Glory interim light heavyweight champion of the world, Pavel Zervalev.
There you have it, Pavel Zervalev, new interim world champion.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, a unanimous decision win. He got a knockdown. Turns out, I don't think he even needed it, if I listen to those scores correctly, but he certainly got it. Pavel Zervalev, his first ever world title in Glory, and that will set up a possible showdown against Artem Vakhitov, who is our current light heavyweight champion, but out with a broken hand right now. Joe, we expected a fantastic knock-em, rock-em, sock-em robot type of fight, and we finally got it in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, both of these guys really utilized their power shots to do a lot of damage, and once Zervalev woke up and really got that knockdown, that solidified the fight. But a fight with Vakhitov and Zervalev is just going to be incredible.
What will that fight actually look like when it takes place?
Well, I don't know. It's going to be Zervalev really trying to land that power, but Vakhitov's a technician. He's so accurate with his punches, changing levels, so it's going to be the technician versus the power puncher.
And Vakhitov is sitting in row 1. He witnessed exactly what happened tonight. Had to be impressed with the wherewithal, the determination, and of course the power from Pavel Zervalev. And those two men will meet at some point down the line. You got to believe. And they both speak Russian, so they'll be able to do their trash talking in their native languages.
Yeah, that's going to be an insane fight. The hype up, the build up to that fight. As a fan, as a commentator, I'm excited to call that fight.
It was certainly a great night. 6 fights. We hope you enjoyed them here on the Glory Super Fight Series. For the entire Glory crew, including our executive producer, Bill Borson, and Rick Tugman, our director, I'm Todd Grisham. He's Joseph Valtellini. We'll see you next month in Chicago.
Go!